Oh, hello, welcome everyone. My name is Olimpia and I'm super excited today to talk about the dating. I just love this topic because relationships, as we know, can cause us most of the pain, seeing our divorces and all of the struggles we went through. However, the relationships can cause us as well a lot of pleasure in our lives. So why listen to me? My name is Olimpia, as I said before, and I'm breakup and divorce coach. I help people to overcome practical and emotional challenges during the divorces so they can secure the future without losing the money, kids, and the mind on the way. I specialize actually in sudden and unexpected end of the relationship, and I got divorced in 2014. It was quite a while ago. And I've been on the dating since for 2.5 years. And to be honest with you, I really, really love it. It was so exciting, but I love it not just because of the fun and excitement I had, but because I've learned quite a lot about myself during that time. And I want to share a few lessons I've learned and share all of the struggles that people may face because it's not that easy, especially after the divorce. So let's start it, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to cover. There are going to be 3 parts. So first, we're going to learn a little bit about it, the mistakes that people do and during the dating after divorce and how to kind of avoid them. The next part, it would be about how to maximize your chances to find love after divorce, which may not be easy. And the following part would be powerful lessons I have learned during the dating game I went through. So let's start just to kind of have a little overview what kind of the mistakes I have listed here. So the first of the mistakes, it could be that you are not ready yet. You may have a wrong expectation. The next one could be that you are dating wrong people. You have a low self-esteem. You struggle to trust. You worry about the kids, or you don't enjoy your freedom being single. And what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to go quickly to each of the mistakes just to talk about more about each one. Okay, so we're starting with people not being ready. That's very, very common mistake. And actually, I'm going to tell you a little story in a minute. But marriage, as we know, is a kind of the very, very big deal, and divorce as well. So when you're going into the marriage, you're thinking this is going to be your partner for your life, and we don't really expect it to be single, and it can be a little bit daunting. This change will take a little bit time for us. It can take a little bit of time to heal, to go through healing process. And we need to take a time to grieve a marriage like any other loss. And I know that some of the presenters already covered the lost cycle. So we have to grieve a marriage, the loss of the future, the loss of the future plans we had before, the loss of the person that we are with, the loss of the people that we were married to, and all of the loss as well of the life that we were accommodated and accustomed to. So this is like a little bit of time of the processing your emotions. So take this time and take it easy. Focusing on yourself, that's quite important, because rushing into the new relationship too soon can be a real mistake and can end up in a big disappointment. This actually reminds me about not being healed. That reminds me about one of the stories from one of my dates. Why I'm actually laughing at the moment, but it wasn't really that fun at the time. It was quite embarrassing. So I met a guy online, and we were getting on very well. Anyway, I thought so. But it was one of these, we have excitement and butterflies, and you want to meet them. So after kind of few weeks of texting and calling, we decided to meet in one of the bars. It was nice evening in Canary Wharf, and we went for the drink. So we ordered the drinks, and we went outside, sat down at the table, just enjoying a glass of wine. And then after maybe around few minutes, then he just decided to excuse himself to the toilet. So that's fine. And I was just waiting and drinking my wine and waiting. And then I was thinking, oh, this is taking a little bit too long. I started to be worried. What happened to him? So after a few minutes, I'm looking at my phone, and I received a text, and it says, "I'm sorry, I had to go because I have realized I'm still in love with my ex-wife." I was literally shocked. I just didn't know what to say. So I say, okay, that's fine. I understand. I'm happy that actually you realize that you're in love with your ex-wife, and I help you to realize to, to come to this conclusion. I say, okay, so go there and tell her. And he say, no, I cannot do this. I say, why? Because she's already with someone else and they just had a baby. So obviously we can see it from this kind of the story. He wasn't ready yet today. It was, very embarrassing for me, because I just wish literally that he used kind of the escape line instead of using escape route out somewhere, like in a movie. So that's kind of the important topic. Let's get to the next mistake. The next mistake, it could be that you're having the wrong expectations. So every new relationship starts with a high expectation. That's normal, natural. But entering one with unrealistic expectations, and you won't find the happiness you're looking for. After divorce, expectations can either be too low or too high, or both. You may have very low expectations reflecting the end of the marriage, or may expected your new partner to behave just like badly as your ex did. You may expect infidelity just because this is what happened to you before. You will hold back, but in this way you will hold back from commitment and not letting your true self to shine, leading that can lead to the long-term failure. Alternatively, you may have very high expectations, believing that new partner will heal you or save you, or you wishing that your new partner, you wish your that your ex could have been before. Okay. So before getting into the dating, what I would say, be clear about what you're looking for before you started. Take a time for yourself before you get into the next relationship. Be honest with yourself. What are you looking for in someone? What kind of the relationship? Is it whether it is a casual relationship or something more serious? This will help you to avoid getting into a relationship that are not right for you. So are you looking for Mr. Right, or are you looking for Mr. Right now? It's okay to have some fun and enjoy the dating process. So just be open and but realize really what you're looking for. And don't load, this is quite important as well, don't load your expectations on your date, because you don't know what's going to happen. You cannot really predict the future. Just enjoy the date for what it is, because any of them, it is the best killer over analyzing everything on a date. They are, what they're saying, and how your future is going to be together. It's like, if you're seeing that they're eating the cheese, you're thinking, oh my God, that probably means they may have like a cholesterol problems or something in the future. And then may lead actually to the premature death. So, oh my God, this is not going to be my partner for life. That's not really the way of dating. Just kind of relax and just to be in the moment and take it for what it is, like a night out with a friend, or like the new person that you're excited to meet. So that's coming about the people that we're meeting. That's very important. Another mistake that lots of lots of the clients and people make when they start to be dating, that they actually dating the wrong people. So the chances are that you're dating someone who's very similar or very different to your ex. The key is just to keep the balance. So what I do with my clients and people I work with, that I do kind of the design new partner exercise. So we go and have a list about what they want and need in a partner. But this kind of the list and exercise gives you the structure, will give you the structure, and will give you to protect you from the future ahead and give you a little bit of more clarity. So if we wanted to go a little bit into the details and see how it works, so if you take a piece of paper and write like 20 of, let's start the ones, very easy ones at the beginning. So if you start like with education, maybe the looks, which is not that important, but obviously that's going to be on the list. And then family status, maybe the hobbies and personality. This is the kind of the wants, but focus on the needs. What kind of the personality you would like to have in that person. And the next thing that identify, that's very important as well. 5 must not to have the kind of the deal breakers. So something that it will be compromising on your values. And this kind of the 3 must not have, or let's do this 5 if you really have to, but I would say 3 would be fine. Like really must not have, like, I don't know, I don't want him to have a kid, or I don't want him to live too far away, like I don't want him to smoke or anything, whatever it is for you, then you know this is going to be red flag at the beginning. So you don't want to get into that relationship or start to be dating that person that in the long term, they may not be a good partner for you. And then once you've got this list, what I would do, and this is quite nice thing that I've heard from Tony Robbins, and he does it. When you look at this list, what you can do, you can just look at all of these wants and needs you want in a partner, but then think about it. Who do you have to become to attract this kind of the person in your life, to invite this kind of the person to your life? Because if we when we're getting into a new relationship, it's good to start from the point where we are giving, we're offering to the other person, not from the point that what we want from the relationship and what we kind of our expectation, what we expect. Because when you enter it from the point where what we're giving, what we can offer in a relationship, we know that in a giving is where we receive. Okay, that's quite a long point, but it was very important. So next one is, we may have, and this is especially happen after a relationship, and the long-term relationship, after the divorce, when people are divorcing after many, many years, maybe that your self-esteem has suffered, and that's important to go and look into that. So even the best divorces can have a negative impact on the self-esteem and the way you think about yourself. This is why it's crucial not to jump so quickly to the new relationship. And I strongly encourage people to rebuild the self-esteem, self-worth, and then self-love before they start to be dating. In order to be able to love someone else, we have to learn how to love ourselves first. And we don't want to be becoming dependent on the other person and depending on what the other person, and depending our worth on another person and our value on the other person. Think about it this way: if you don't love yourself, and your main kind of the source of love comes from your partner or other half and their validation, what's going to happen when they decided to leave, when the relationships like just break down, up? So are they going to be in that position? They will take all of the love away from you, and that's going to hurt. It happens all the time in my clinic. And if you rely on that other person for the approval, you may get disappointed, and it happens quite often. So quit relying on them, and quit, looking for the other person, for another people to approve you, and start to approve yourself. People may not encourage you, but you can encourage yourself. People may not make you feel special, but you can make yourself feel special without anyone else. You're one of the kind. Everybody, all of us, we are different. We are like kind of the masterpieces. We are all of the kind. And you will be starting a relationship from the better point. So if you always depend on someone, you know that you become like needy and a burden to that other person. And what I say always, other people are not responsible for your happiness. You are a responsible person for your own happiness. Okay, let's move on. And the next mistake, it will be struggling to trust. So you may struggle to trust. It is very common as well to feel sense of mistrust when long-term relationship ends, especially if you it was involved, if you were like, involved betrayal itself. So many times people put a brick wall around the heart to protect themselves, and they think we're going to protect ourselves, and then their love is going to come second. However, no other relationship can blossom without having that trust. And it's also about building internal trust. So having faith that you know yourself enough to make the right choices about your future relationship. This is really, really common, that we don't really, not even that we don't trust someone else, but we don't trust ourselves. So when we want to rebuild this trust in ourselves, there is as well, the divorce coaches are coming in and can help us out by asking different questions and going through the process and different strategies that can be used. Okay, the following one we maybe worry about our kids, which is totally natural. Everybody will be worried about the kids and about their needs. We always have to put their needs first, as we've heard before, especially the young, and I mean all of the kids. And if the relationship gets serious, you kind of thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen? You know, it can be very scary to introduce the new partner to my kids' life. You may be thinking, what are they gonna think about them? Are they gonna resent them? Are they gonna reject them? Even if they're adult kids, we still worry about that. These words may be kind of sabotaging your relationship before it even starts. So think about it. I know that I mean, lots of people say, and I truly believe as well, that if we are happy, our kids will be happy as well. If they see that we are happy, they will be happy as well. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy, because that's going to be difficult. I mean, the blended families, and there's going to be lots of challenges for sure. And I know Tom, one of my colleagues, will be covering this co-parenting in the next talk, so we will hear more about that. But let me say that please don't allow this challenge to stop your chance to finding the love again. Okay. The following one, I would say that this is that you are not enjoying your freedom and you being single as yourself. So finding yourself single after the long, especially after long relationship, it can be very daunting, but it can be very liberating at the same time. Being single can open lots of doors for you, lots of new opportunities, new hobbies, meeting new people, and kind of starting new life. So I encourage you to enjoy being single, getting to know yourself, and spending time in your own company before you get involved to get into someone else. As I always say, your partner should know. Your partner should complement your life, not become your whole life. So it should be just complementing your life. Let's have a look what we have next. So what I would like to cover here is a quick tips about how to maximize the chance of finding love after divorce. And some of them, they could be like a little bit repeating, but let's go quickly through them. So how to maximize the chances to find a love. First of all, I would say take it slowly and be patient. Don't rush into anything quickly. Take your time getting to know someone and let the relationship develop naturally. It will help you to avoid like impulsive decisions or getting too attached too quickly. Finding the right person may take a time, but you have to be patient and don't give up. It is important to remember that dating is a process. And sometimes it's like you have to kiss quite a lot of frogs before you find your princess or you find your prince. And the next tip would be to build the trust, communicate openly. Building a new relationship or foundation of trust is so important for everyone, especially after divorce. So communicate openly about what really happened. Be honest with your date about your divorce and how it has affected you. So this communication and being open about your past will build the trust and understanding. I'm not saying just to load everything on the first day, but like when you get to the next stages. Great. The next, what I would say, tip is don't compare your date to your ex. It happens quite often when you hear on a date dates that people are comparing it to the ex, which is not really fair, and it is very unproductive as well. Instead, you can focus on getting to know that person and how individual they are and how unique they are. And please don't just like talk about your next ex on your first date. I would say as well to put a bit of emphasis about to be yourself. Don't be anyone else. Everyone else is a little taken. So you don't have to be perfect, but you have to be real. Be real, not perfect. That's what I say. All of the magic, everybody's got the magic in themselves. Just to accept yourself for who you are. Don't to pretend to be a different person, because it will go and it will show later on. The following tip I would give is to learn from your past relationship, and don't overstep your boundaries as well. Don't repeat the patterns that don't really serve you anymore. It is important when we go from one relationship to another one, as we were learning, like from the men coaching, which is couple clarity coaching. It's quite nice to know what part did you play in the relationship? What did you contribute to the breakup of the relationship, to your previous relationship? How you can change, how you can use that? What have you learned? So that's quite very important to implement this knowledge in the future dates, not to repeat the mistakes. Okay. So we coming to an end, but I've got just a quick tips now, and this is kind of from my personal perspective, the parcel for lesson that I have learned, which we kind of cover a little bit, but I'm just repeating myself, so I hope you're gonna remember that. So what I've learned, to trust my instinct. I have realized at the end of the dating game that real confidence does not come from ability to say no to the things I do want, that ability to say no to the things that I do want, but they're not right for me. So I had to know, who is the right person for me. Even if they were like perfect on a paper and ticked all of the boxes, they may not be the perfect person for you, but for me, and I could say no at that time. The next lesson, as well was saying before, it's that I learn how to understand and love myself, accepting myself for the person who I am. And as Claire was saying in the previous presentation, forgiving myself for my mistakes and failures, the guilt of broken marriage. I came as well from the marriage when it was the marriage in Catholic Church, and the guilt that was coming from that and the shame of the broken relationship, I can resonate totally to that. But I had to go through the process to forgive myself, to kind of not to feel that shame anymore about talking to others, what really happened in marriage, and then explaining myself, as Claire was saying before. So that's quite important. And then this kind of my breakup of the relationship, it was very devastating, and it was kind of the heartbreak. The heartbreak was devastating, and I had to go through kind of the long process of heal, and then not to feel rejected anymore. So, and there was little steps, and definitely I would say that dating helped me within that process. So let's do next slide. That's one of the last ones. And what I have realized as well, and this is maybe a little bit funny tip, but it's important that you're not going to be able to change another person. So you may go to the relationship and think, oh yeah, okay, he's this and that, or she's this and that, but I can change her, or he may change his mind later on. As somebody say that men are like a taxis. You have to get them when the lights is on and when they are ready to accept the passengers. You cannot meet you can meet the perfect person at the wrong time, and it means they are not perfect for you. So when the man has made it clear, for example, that they're not looking for anything serious, guess what? They're not really looking for anything serious. And then not amount of you being very special, and in that case, it was me being very special, or thinking that I'm very special for that person to change their mind. They're not going to change their mind. So I had to move on. And then we had to kind of realize that. And the last point I wanted to make today, and the final one, and finally, after 2.5 almost years, something like that, of the dating, I came to the point, and I realized that I was just happy by myself. I didn't have to have anyone else around me to make me happy, and I was just really in a happy place. I didn't need to be with someone that I could or wanted to be with someone. The irony is, once we're happy with ourselves, then normally when we meet someone else. And I think this is actually a very good point, because it shows that, I don't know, it's the God of the universe, however you wanted to say it, it shows that you're ready, and then you meet that person at that time. And yes, what happened to me. And I met at that point my current partner. He has proposed to me after a few months, and we've been happy together ever since for the last 6 years. So that's kind of the lessons I have learned, and I hope you have enjoyed this presentation. Thank you so much for your time. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm here as well until the next speaker gonna talk. If you want to know a little bit my work and what I do, go to my website, which is Olimpia with an I.coach. So it's Olimpia.coach, or I'm at the social media on all of the Facebook and Instagram at Olimpia Divorce Coach. And I offer as well free discovery sessions and the gift as well, how to get off of the emotional roller coaster, which you can access from my website. So thank you so much today.
Thank you, Olimpia. Do you want to stop sharing your screen and then?
Yes, of course. Stop sharing. Okay, here.
Okay, so there were something in the chat. Let's have a look. Sarah says, thank you for your honest presentation. Love the taxi analogy.
Yes, because it is what it is, and we really think that we can change another person, and we can change the perspective of how, or if they're ready or not ready for the relationship. But the honest truth is, it's not the case. So it's better to move on, not to get hurt, not to get disappointed, and yeah, just to see if we can find, because how many times we say no, we actually closer to getting proper yes. So that's what it is. I did not cover quite a lot in this presentation about like a safety, online dating, and things like that, because I wanted to cover more side of how we have to be emotionally prepared for that, how we have to be in a good place from the coming out from the divorce, that perspective. But obviously, if we wanted to cover quite a lot more, would have to be another probably hours and hours about how to be safe online, and about the profile, how honest you have to be, and all of this kind of
That's perhaps one for next year.
Probably, yeah. Following up.
Any other questions, comments? I'll